So let's talk about that. What new songs did you discover? Is there anything you learned from this that you didn't know before?
Oh, the history of Dixie is one of the things that I think discussions we've had in these last few days about Dixie gives you the opportunity to appreciate what Dixie means in our history.
And what it could mean.
It could mean so many good things. It does not. It speaks of problems we had in ensuring our national strength and that we remain as a union.
Mm.
But you've got to put the good with the bad in writing history, in writing it, and in hearing it, and listening to it in song. You come to understand better what it was like.
Were there any other songs such as Sleep My Child and Thousands Are Sailing to America? Had you ever heard those songs before?
I had heard Thousands Are Sailing to America.
You had?
But not in that form. The cadence and the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I knew.
Thousands of folk songs have come out of those simple cadences. What other were there any other surprises for you on the Song of America?
As I say, Yankee Doodle was just beautifully done. That was, it's like the notes melted in your mouth. They were just wonderful.
And I know you said you had never heard of Betty LaVette before you had heard her Streets of Philadelphia. How did that affect you?
That was, again, an example of using a powerful voice to tell what's happening on our streets, to marshal the efforts of the country to deal with it.
It's the magical thing about music, is that sometimes the things we can't say to each other in a simple conversation, you can say in music, and it opens up this whole discussion. So that was my biggest wish for the Song of America, is that we could open up a discussion and simply say, hey, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. It's part of our history.
But you take Dixie, for example, and you look at, there are three possible origins of Dixie. The $10 note in New Orleans, Ludis, the Mason-Dixon line, and the
slave owner Dix, right? Supposedly there is a slave owner named Dix who treated his slaves well, and they like to sing about him. It's like Yankee Doodle was originally a mocking tune written by the British against us. And then once we started beating them in the war, we started singing it back to them. Or much like God Save the King, which many people here refer to as America. As you know, obviously we changed the words at some point along the line. And a lot of these songs go back to Scottish and English folk songs from the Isles. Did you hear any of that? And did some of these songs remind you of other songs that you went, wait a minute, doesn't that sound like something?
No, I had always, in school, I had been interested with the fact that there was My Country 'Tis of Thee in America, and America the Beautiful. And I was always interested in just what the difference was between the three.
I really didn't know. I'm sure I had heard God Save the phrase God Save the King in relation to music, but I don't know if I knew that God Save the King, My Country 'Tis of Thee, and America were all the same song, basically. So that fascinated me as I came across. There was a couple of surprises for me too on this record. In fact, we went Voices Across Time, which was so generous to us to have their database of 650 songs or so to go through. There were songs that we went outside of that we felt that didn't complete it, like Schlaf mein Kind, Sleep My Child, was an immigrant lullaby sung to a child on the belly of the ship. Don't worry, we'll be in America soon and we'll meet Daddy. And it brings a tear to your eye sometimes, because I know your dad came over from Denmark,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandfather came over from Norway. And I was thinking this morning, it really brought a tear to my eye. What were they thinking when they're waving their families goodbye as the ship pulls out, going to this mythical place that at that time, there's not TV and fax machines and the internet to find out, it was probably just this mythical land, America.